Hey guys, Bo here. I want to introduce you to our way of shaping behavior. Okay, so we use a method that is very similar to capturing, where we try to convince the dog that they came up with the idea. So almost every trainer that you're going to go to is going to say a word, sit, down, whatever, and then try to shape the behavior by looking at the dog and trying to explain to them how to do it. So maybe that's with a piece of food and luring it by catching the scent of the food with their nose, or maybe that's by using a leash and kind of forcing the dog to sit or to down with the leash. And we don't do any of that, okay? We have a pretty unique way of doing things. So what I'm going to do is sit in a chair and ignore the dog completely. Act like he doesn't exist, but I have good food in my lap, so he wants that food, so I almost instantly have perfect attention. And then I just ignore them completely, and I leave the dog wondering, what in the world? Why will he not look at me? What do I got to do to get his attention? And then the second that he does a behavior that I've got in my mind, which just for this sake of example, let's use the down. So he gets tired of waiting on me and he decides to lay down and relax. And then I go, oh, look what he did. And I give him the attention, the eye contact, and the food. And he goes, really? Laying down was what got your attention and got me the food? Huh. So then he might hop up and then try it again, lay down again. And sure enough, bam, I give him the attention and the food again. So he starts to think, okay, so it's a puzzle basically, and he thinks, all right, so every time I lay down, that grabs his attention and gets me the food. So then they will start to repeat the behavior to try to pull that attention out of me again and pull that food out of me again. Now, why do we do it this way instead of saying the word? Well, I'm trying to convince him that he came up with it. I'm trying to convince him that it was his idea. If one of my employees comes to work and says, hey, Bo, I got a great idea. It's a marketing idea. You're going to love it. And I go, oh my God, it's beautiful. You're a genius. I think that's wonderful. Let's start on that right away. They're going to walk away with a little bit of pride because they were thinking about that idea on the way to work. They came to me, they spieled it to me. I loved it. Now they think that I believe that they're a genius, and they go tell the rest of the staff, guess what? Boss man liked my stuff. He liked my idea. He said, we're going to run with it today. But if I came to work on the same day with the same idea and I looked at my staff and said, hey guys, I got this idea. Let's go ahead and get this rolling by 3 o'clock. Casey, I'd like you to do step 1. Jules, if you could holler, step 2, get knocked out, that'd be great. They're a wonderful staff. They're definitely going to hop into gear and do it. But they're just checking something off my to-do list, and they do that every day. So a lot of the pride and the passion behind the idea has dissipated a little bit. This is also how we kill stubbornness in dogs. You get a lot of dogs when you tell them to do something and they're like, nah, you've been bossing me around my whole life. I'm not into it. But if I convince them it's their idea, then all stubbornness goes out the window. How can you be stubborn about something that you came up with? Okay. So the whole argument in the dog and the need to give correction instantly dissipates because you never told him to do anything in the first place. So how could he tell you no, which would lead to needing a correction? A lot of folks don't understand, how can you train dogs without correcting them whenever they tell you no? My dogs don't tell me no because I don't tell them what to do. I wait until they do it and I make them think it was their idea. So then in the moment that I finally decide to tell them what to do after the behavior is fully trained, I go, hey, do you think you could do that thing? And they go, that thing I came up with? Sure, why not? It's like asking Tom Petty to play Last Dance with Mary Jane. He's like, you mean that song I wrote that the entire world loves? Heck yeah, I'll play it for you. I'll do that right now. So let's try to build pride and passion in these dogs. Let's try to make them think that it's their idea instead of bossing them around. We've got to get it out of our head that they need to mind and they need to do what we say. They need to be obedient. I guarantee at the end of my program, every single thing that you want out of that dog, sit, come, down, stay, heel, is going to be accomplished, and it's going to be done faster with more fire and more passion than it would have if you would be telling him what to do and bossing him around with verbal commands. Okay, so this is why we don't use verbal commands. We don't tell them what to do. We make them figure it out. Every exercise is a puzzle, and when they get the answer to that puzzle, they're happy and proud of themselves.